Thank you for joining today's webinar on how to comply with quality management standards in a digital environment. My name is Kevin Devecioglu, and I'm with my colleagues today with Samvat, Samet, Numan, Hakan, and Furkan, and all together we'll be presenting you Quality Assurance Anywhere. Also, we like to talk about how we are approaching digital transformation of quality management. That is also an important subject. So as you know, Quality Assurance Anywhere is a part of AnyWare apps. And in AnyWare apps family, we have various applications available. And our goal is to help organizations, companies automate their business processes. So Quality Assurance Anywhere designed to help companies automate their quality management and compliance management operations. Before we jump into the details, then we'll look at our AnyWare apps. We have Quality Control Anywhere, we have BankLink Anywhere, we have X3 Anywhere for Sage X3 ERP software. We have Asset Management Anywhere to manage assets and maintenance operations of companies. We have Workflow Anywhere to help companies manage their business processes, to automate them with the workflow engine that we have, document management, records management, dashboard, and capture capabilities. And we have Data Sync Anywhere application available. And finally, we'll talk more about today is Quality Assurance Anywhere. So with my colleagues together as a panel, we'll take you through the Quality Assurance Anywhere, as well as how to adopt digital transformation in quality management field. Quality Assurance Anywhere has been around since 1998, and we have more than 1,000 customers, happy corporate customers available worldwide. And as for the number of users that we have more than 1 million users available. So system has been around since 1998. We have more than 1,000 corporate customers, and we have more than 1 million professional users. System is massive and it is solid. That is why actually we have a lot of customers in different parts of the world, North America, Asia, Europe, Africa, and pretty much worldwide. So we are proud of it. We have a lot of experience in quality management as well as compliance management, and we are looking forward to put this experience to work at your organization. So let's talk about digital transformation of quality management for a while. So when we say quality and compliance management, actually we are referring to many different industries, because different industries have different requirements basically for compliance purposes. When we look at, for example, aviation aerospace industry, there is AS9100 standard, there is ISO 9001 standard. Automotive has IATF 16949 standard, for example. They have their own ISO. Construction industry, we see typically ISO 17025 and ISO 9001 standards being complied with. Food industry, healthcare industry, these are heavily regulated industries for safety purposes, safety, hygiene, and security. For example, food industry is commonly known for ISO 22000 as well as BRC compliance requirements. Healthcare industry, medical device industry, the companies actually operating in this industry, they got to comply with FDA, and comes with GMP, good manufacturing practices compliance, and also most of them they also comply with various types of ISO standards. For medical device companies, for example, ISO 13485, 485 is pretty common. So it also shows actually more or less what type of industries we have been working, we have been observing and learning from. So many companies in many different industries comply with these standards, and many more, by the way. These are not all of it, but basically these are the major ones that we have been seeing in the marketplace as to list of quality and compliance management standards. So what is quality when we think about it? Quality is actually shows the characteristics of a product. It shows where it is coming from, the environment, the team that actually is building it. So it also shows the specifications of the customer requirements in a way, so that products are supposed to satisfy those expectations, and it has to also reflect the voice of the customer. So in short, quality is very important for many organizations. same for products, same for services, and it has to have the characteristics of the product and services that needs to be there to satisfy customer expectations. So having said that, why do you comply with those standards? ISO, SQF, BRC, right? I made a list of it. So you have to comply. It's because your customers are requiring it. Okay, if you are in, let's say, a food industry, and if you are not complying with SQF or BRC, you cannot sell to major supermarkets. It is less likely you'll be able to sell restaurant chains, because these quality and management standards shows that you have policies and procedures in place as a company, and you follow these policies and procedures to deliver the consistent quality, the characteristics of the product consistently, back to back, all the time. That is what it means. So it actually reflects the reliability of your company and how professional you are. So that is why customers are asking for it. Also, your competitors are getting it. You don't want to fall behind. Some local, state, and federal agencies are requiring you to comply with certain standards that may be as simple as an SOP, standard operating procedures, or that may be as massive as good manufacturing practices, for example, or SQF requirements, for instance. Also, you comply with these quality and management standards to open new markets, to improve your operations, and to position your company for growth and success. So, since we have been deploying quality assurance anywhere since 1998, and we have more than 1,000 customers in many different industries, complying with many different standards, we have been observing and learning from customers. And they have challenges. Complying with these standards, actually, that's not an easy task. And we listen customers to understand what their challenges are. Most of the time, they talk about too much paperwork. If you are complying with ISO, SQF, or GMP as to FDA requirements, for example, you have to document your activities, your operations. So not only they are actually a proof of your operations and you follow the certain policies and procedures, you are also creating corporate memory. However, if you are using literally paper, the paperwork that you actually need to manage becomes more and more. It is really a lot after years of work. So that is one of the challenges that we hear from the customers. Another challenge that we have been hearing is the maintaining those documentation, because you may have a set of policies and procedures for, let's say, doing certain manufacturing. However, when you start revising it, when you start updating your documentation, you are actually creating more paper, and it becomes more difficult to manage. Also, during the daily work that you are trying to get it done, sometimes customers are losing sight of standard operations, basically, lose sight of the standards that they are supposed to be complying with. So these are the typical challenges that we have been hearing, we have been seeing at customers' locations when we work with them. So the good news is, with the help of digital age, you can manage your documentation, your paperwork in a digital environment. You can maintain also the revisions. You can keep them updated in a digital environment. The systems typically have notifications, updates, and reminders for you to keep the system going, keep the quality management system going, so that it's very, very helpful. All these are simplified, as well as train your employees, motivating them, and have them follow the policies and procedures that you put in place is easier in digital age. So, having said that, in this digital age, we have this framework that we put together. This framework is a proactive quality management framework, as we call it. It has 3 pillars: assurance, control, and predict. Assurance means the quality management standard that you are complying with. That may be ISO 9001. That may be ISO 13485 if you are a medical device company. That may be AS 9100 for aerospace companies, for example. That is the system that you are running in your organization. Control means you need to put control points in your organization. These control points may be about manufacturing, maybe about your administrative duties and operations, but they need to be there because they are basically dictated by the quality assurance piece. So quality assurance and quality control always interacting with each other, and actually quality assurance is dictating it. So it's another important piece. Finally, we have predict, the prediction piece. So that is actually touching to IoT devices in this modern age. And if you have IoT devices, if you have smart sensors to remotely monitor the temperature, humidity, light, noise, for example, you can pick this up with the sensor, and with the help of our quality assurance products, you can actually automate your processes. So in the bottom of each section, I also address one of the AnyWare apps that we have in place. For example, for quality assurance, we are offering quality assurance AnyWare application to help you manage your quality management system. And as for control, we are offering a workflow AnyWare to automate, to digitize, and manage quality control operations. And as to predict, you can get any smart sensor in the marketplace. We'll be happy to share our partners' information with you if you're interested, or you can get it from any third-party supplier. However, the asset management anywhere, as I mentioned in the bottom, that basically helps you automate the facility management as well as maintenance operations. So if I'm remotely monitoring the temperature or machinery, for example, if there is anything out of place, if there's any irregularity, based on the data I am getting from the smart sensor, asset management anywhere can take action for correcting that mistake. That may be maintenance, that may be just checking the product, that may be calibration perhaps. So we can automate all these activities together, and AnyWare apps basically can address assurance, quality control, as well as quality prediction activities. That's our framework. In addition to that, we also have a contract management solution that helps companies manage their contracts in a paperless environment. So in this slide, you can see how modern day technologies and our AnyWare apps actually are interacting. So at your organization, you may have IoT devices, smart sensors. You may have manufacturing execution system in place. You may have CRM system in place. You may have ERP system in place. So these systems basically interacting with each other. And the good thing is our systems, quality assurance anywhere, asset management anywhere, workflow anywhere, these are really modern technologies. We have the latest technology available. So we have open APIs. With the help of these APIs, we can integrate your machinery equipment, and we can help you automate the processes. So the idea is to have integrated management system in digital environment and to avoid double entry. So once you enter it in the system, then these two systems or three systems or all of them, for example, can interact with each other. And this interaction helps you have an automated work environment. That is the part of actually digital transformation of quality management, which is very exciting if you think about it, that you can do many different things and you can manage them in one place. So let's go back to quality assurance anywhere again. And as I mentioned earlier, this system has been around since 1998, and we have more than 1,000 customers and more than 1 million professional users available. Quality assurance anywhere is a quality, risk, audit, and compliance management system. It is designed to help you comply with any standard. That may be ISO 9001, that may be GMP, that may be SQF or BRC, you name it. The system is flexible, and we configure it for you based on your quality management standards. Quality assurance anywhere is web-based, so we can deploy it on a cloud or on-premise server, and you can access the system remotely from anywhere via any web browser. So that's a great advantage. Since it's a user-friendly solution, once we train you, you can use the system by yourself. You don't need no consultant or any other support actually on daily basis. While we have 100% support for our product on daily basis, after you get the proper training from us, you'll be the administrative of this solution. As I mentioned earlier, it works in cloud as well as on-premise servers, and it has a modular structure. That is very, very important. It is because when you're actually reviewing our system, we are not trying to actually offer you all of the modules that we have. We have more than 30 modules. These are just some of them, major of them. And these major modules, for example, it starts with control document management. If you think about it, managing your policies, procedures, SOPs, this is actually your backbone of your quality management system. So you can manage it on in control document management environment. Customer complaint modules, we have two, as internal and external, helps you manage your customer complaints in a digital environment. You can record the customer complaints, you can investigate the customer complaint, you can document the results, and if there is a need for corrective action for continuous improvement, you can also use the corrective action module that we have. Audit Manager module helps you manage audits, either internal audits as well as auditing your suppliers, your dealers. That is also possible that you can use it for that purpose as well. Training module is another important module that we have to help you manage your training operations. Also, calibration module is designed to help you manage the calibration tasks at your organization, especially we see it in manufacturers. When you have machinery and equipment, you need to adjust it from time to time. Risk manager modules are very important. It is because, especially ISO 9001, actually 9001 requires you to have a risk management record in place. That is right now mandatory. Risk management used to be optional for ISO 9001, for example. Right now it is mandatory. So we have different risk management modules that maybe you may study your risks, for example, for health and safety, for IT asset management, for processes, and you can record it. You can have a criteria to classify your risks, and also you can put together a contingency plan. So if that risk happens to be a reality, what are you going to do about it? So you're going to have the contingency plan on the site, and by utilizing the training module, you can always train your employees to make sure they are actually up to date in terms of how to run the contingency plan. And we have other modules available, as you see on the screen. So the module structure gives you options. You can get one module, you can get a couple of different modules. That's really up to you. You can start with a couple of them. You can later on add more. That is perfectly fine. We are flexible about it. The solution is flexible. And our products are scalable, by the way. So same thing for quality assurance anywhere. Let me share some use cases with you, for example. So one of the use cases actually I'd like to share is about a pharma company in healthcare industry. So this customer of ours that we are working with, they have more than 500 employees, and they have multiple production facilities, more than one location, and they comply with ISO, GMP, and FDA. So their challenge was to pass audits when they are being audited by ISO, GMP, and FDA. It was difficult for them to pass audits. It was because they were heavily on paper, and the paper-based system was difficult for them to run. They had hard time finding the policies, procedures. They had hard time managing the revision. So having these difficulties also caused them to fall behind in terms of taking corrective action, because corrective action is important for continuous improvement, which is very, very important for any quality management system. Continuous improvement as well as increasing customer satisfaction. So when we deployed quality assurance anywhere at this customer's location, we first of all help them digitize their paper-based documentation and policies and SOPs. And then they started to access the system remotely, which was another advantage for them because they have multiple locations. And once we deploy quality assurance anywhere, and they actually fill the system with their data, they were ready for audit. And the audit experience was easier than before because it was easier to show the auditor policies, procedures, everything is digital. They can still pull paper-based archives if that's needed, of course. But then initially having these, of course, in the digital environment makes things much easier for them. They managed to increase their productivity, and maybe the most of all, they started to take corrective action based on the data that they collect on quality assurance anywhere. Other use case I like to share about a manufacturer in medical device industry. Medical device industry is just like pharma. It's also a heavily regulated industry due to safety, security, and hygiene concerns. This is a mid-sized company, and they have 70 plus employees with one production facility. They comply with currently ISO 13485, GMP, FDA, EU MDR, and the SAP and SOAR requirements. And since they are mostly on paper, it was difficult for them to find their policies and procedures when there is a need. That also affect their success rate in terms of passing audits coming from FDA and other authorities. Again, the corrective action, taking corrective action was a big challenge for them. So once we deploy quality assurance anywhere at their organization, they had a chance to first of all overhaul their quality management system, because they were so much buried in paper. They didn't have really real data to work on to improve operations. Now, while they are actually adding data, their documents, policies, procedures into quality assurance anywhere, they had a chance to review every single step to make sure that's how it is supposed to be. If there is a need for any corrective action, now they have a chance basically for improvements. The audit experience became easier. They started to create corporate memory, of course, because they digitize all the documentation paperwork that they have, and also they started to have corrective action based on the real data coming from quality assurance anywhere. Okay, great. So that is my piece so far. And what I like to do is I like to hand it over to Sam, our software engineer in our software engineering team. And Sam, if you are ready, you can take over the screen. And we like to learn about document management from your controlled document management module. So please show us how would you manage documentation, and also how would you manage revisions as well as reviewing documents. We can see your screen right now.
That's nice. Thank you, Kevin. And this is Sam at BIMSER International, and thank you for joining today's webinar. And this is the home screen of Quality Assurance Anywhere. And you can find all the pending tasks and requests for approval on this home screen. So for example, like the documents that you saved and the documents that are waiting for approval requests, those will be shown in this home screen, and it makes sure you won't miss any important document uploading or requests right after you log into Quality Assurance Anywhere. And on the top left, this is the main menu of Quality Assurance Anywhere. And today we will go into the Control Document Management module, which you can read your document, upload your new document, revise it, delete it, and manage the folder structure in this system. And with using this system, it's helped you to digitize all the documents and manage it in a central system, and helped you to save more paper and the cost in this digital age. And first of all, we come to the folder structure, which you can add, edit, or delete any folder in the system. So say I'm going to create a new folder, and the parent folder is this one, the ISO TS 16949, and it is not limited for managing or complying with ISO. Of course, as Kevin mentioned, it's helped you to comply with any regulation or standards, for example, SQF, BRC, FDA, and so on. So first of all, I'm going to give it a demo code as the code name, and also the code number and the code name. And we can set up the code template, which means all the document that you upload in this folder, it will automatically apply this template for the document code, and set up the counter. And we can set up the default authorization matrix, and you can manage the permission like reading, printing, revising, getting back to the previous version, delete it, and define the subfolder. And first of all, I want to delete some of those users based on their role, position, profession, group, or department in this matrix. So let's say I'm going to delete most of them. And this is my account, BIMSER Int admin, which is my account I'm logging in as right here. And I have the permission like reading, printing, revising, delete, and getting back to the previous version. You can also manage the distribution matrix, like who or which user have the obligation to read this document when it is published in the system. And you can manage the approval matrix, like the approval flow. You can add more users in this approval flow. So for example, Kevin. And I'm going to add Kevin into this approval flow, which means all the approval that I upload under this folder, it will be sent to Kevin and then to my account for approval. When we enter all the information, then we can save it, and this folder will be created sitting under ISO TS 6949 folder. And now I want to show you how we can add or create a new document. So first of all, we can select the folder that we want to have this document or new document, and then get to the next step. You can see the document code now is generated automatically by the system. And I will grant a name for this document. And also while I'm uploading a new document, I can manage the permission for the users based on their position, profession, again, like group or department. And you can see we apply the default permission of this folder automatically. So does the distribution list and also the approval list. And at last, we can upload our document from our local drive. For example, like your SOP, or your SOP, your procedure, your specifications, and so on in different file format, like PowerPoint, Word, Excel, and so on. So right here, I have an example document, and now it is uploading to the system. And there we go, file uploaded successfully. So what will happen next is I will send this request into the approval flow. And still remember, we set up the approval flow as Kevin will be the first approver in this request or in this process. So you can see the message. And now please allow me to switch my account to Kevin's account. And what we will see on the screen is on the home screen, we will find the document for approval request right here. And we can click and start managing the approval. So this is the document we just upload, and we will approve it right after we click this notice on the home screen. And of course, we can reject it. There's always an option. And now I'm going to approve it, and then it will be sent to the second approver, which is my own account, BIMS Int admin. Okay, so that I will switch back to my account. And again, I can find this request right on my home screen. And this is the one. And I can simply click it and approve it. Okay, and you will see a message on your screen is this document is published and ready for use, which means it is available now in the system. So in the control document management system, you can read your document. Since our new upload document is available now, so we can go to our folder, which is under a folder under ISO TS 6949, which named as demo 001, and this is our document which is upload. And we can start reading it. And again, quality assurance AnyWare support different file formats, and you don't need any other software to read your document. Instead, the content of your document will be shown in the built-in browser of your document like this, which you can zoom in and out, and you can find the document information, the permission matrix, distribution list, approval flow, and all the history or activities under this history tab. It shows you the name, the date and time, and what kind of action this user take. We also call it like audit trail, and you can always keep tracking what happened to your document. And with the permission, like printing, you can see on the top right, I have the permission for printing my document right here and download it to my local computer. And lastly, I want to show you is how to revise the document. So right here, we can choose which folder that we have a document we're going to revise. I'm going to pick the same one I just uploaded. So this is the document, and I'm going to revise it. We will have a similar approach as uploading a new document. Like we can manage the permission, distribution, and approval flow. But right now, you can see on the screen is this document has been locked. That's because we don't want two users revise the same document at the same time. And we want to keep our document as the latest version. So right here, we have to enter the revision reason. So saying our revision reason as 111, and put down the revision description here. After that, we can upload our revised document from our local drive, which we can simply upload it right here. I'm going to upload it from our local drive, which will be like this, and it will be right here. And I'm going to search it right on my local computer. And now it is uploading, and you will see file uploaded successfully. Also, I will change a little for my approval request in order to show you. Like now, I will be the only approver in this request or for this document. And then I will send it, and it will be sent to my account for approval. Okay. And again, I can find my request right on my home screen. And I'm going to approve it and show you the versioning of the documents in Quality Assurance Anywhere. So I will approve it. And now you will see a message on the screen, like this document is published and ready for use again, which means our revision is complete. So we can come back to read a document and go to our folder. And right here, you can see the version number now come to 1 instead of 0. And also with the permission, in this revision info tab, you will find all the version of this document, and you can see the reason and the description of it, as same as what we have just typed in. And we can get back to the previous version or the original document anytime with the permission that getting back to the previous version. And in all the modules in Quality Assurance Anywhere, you can use the reporting tool to create the ready-made report that we have in the system. So for example, you can see different report right here, and I'm going to show you one is like the document status report. So you can set up the time frame, the status, and the department right here. And if you leave them as blank, which means it's select all, and then we can make a search here, and all the documents will be shown in this list. And always you can use the filter bar or filter function, it is provided on your page. So saying in revision. And then Quality Assurance Anywhere will make the search for you. Okay. And it's come to the end of my demonstration. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Sam. Much appreciated. Thank you. Let me get the screen back from you in a second. Okay, great. Make full screen. Oh, coming up. Great. Thank you so much, Sam, for the demonstration of Quality Assurance Anywhere. Now it is time for Q&A session. Let's see what kind of questions we have from our attendees, and we can address them one by one. I received some of the questions earlier. Some of them I've been getting them in the chat box, so we'll address them one by one for you. And again, we keep our contact information on the screen. Mine is on the screen actually. Kevin@cureconsulting.com is the owner of AnyWare Apps product family. So you can feel free to email me, and we can assist you. Also, I shared some phone numbers and also email addresses earlier with regards to AnyWare apps, and I'll be sharing with you again before we end this session. All right, good. So let's address some questions. One of the questions that I got is about the quality management systems in general. Can I use quality assurance anywhere for any type of quality management system? Right now, I'm compliant with ISO 9001. Can it be helpful for these for its requirements? Yes. So the answer is yes. Quality assurance anywhere is designed to help companies comply with any quality and compliance management standard, basically. So, having said that, as for ISO 9001, which is the holy grail of all the quality management systems, can be managed on quality assurance anywhere. You can manage your control document management, just like Sam just demonstrated to us. You can manage your corrective actions, audits, trainings, calibration, and also you can manage your surveys as to customer satisfaction, for example. So all these tasks can be managed on quality assurance anywhere in a digital environment, in a paperless environment, and also you can have an easier, of course, audit experience when the auditor comes from ISO to make sure that you are following ISO guidelines. You'll basically having the audit with the help of quality assurance anywhere in a digital environment. Auditor will ask you about some documentation. You'll pull up on the screen right there. You'll present it right there. And if they ask anything about quality assurance, operations, if they ask anything about continuous improvement, audit, for example, you'll be able to present it to them in a digital environment right away. Yes, of course, if they want it, you can, of course, get printouts from your printer to present it on paper, but this is just for the inspection, right? So for the audit. However, data is available in the quality assurance anywhere in a digital secure environment, which is perfect for companies like yourself complying with ISO 9001. Another question that I have is about the mobile app. Can I use quality assurance anywhere via any mobile app? Sam, can you answer this question as to mobile app?
Sure. Absolutely. You can use quality assurance anywhere on your Android and iOS device. So it is available on Google Store and App Store. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Sam. Can they also review the documentation on the mobile device, mobile app?
Yes, absolutely. They can have the same function as they can see on the web browser. And it is available for tablet and smartphone.
Great. Thank you very much, Sam. I appreciate it. Let's see if there is another question. Well, of course, in this webinar session, in terms of demonstration, we focus on the control document management module of quality assurance anywhere. So, of course, we have more modules, but this is the series of webinars. Actually, this is just the part one. So, the part two will be covering other parts of the quality assurance anywhere, as well as other types of requirements you may encounter in different quality management standards. Another question is, I'm a food company. We comply with various standards such as ISO 22000, BRC, and we are getting ready for SQF. Can I manage all these on one system as quality assurance anywhere? That's a great question, actually. So we see this example sometimes. Some of the companies, they are complying with more than one standards. Some of them complying with ISO. At the same time, they're complying with SQF, sometimes BRC, or let's say AS9100, and then GMP, and so on. So again, who dictates these requirements? Typically, customers dictate it, and also authorities dictate. So if this is the case, then you may have more than one quality and compliance management requirements in place. And my answer is yes, you can manage multiple compliance requirements on quality assurance anywhere. So that you may have policies, procedures, corrective actions, audits. So all these activities for satisfying different quality management standards are actually that's pretty straightforward to manage in quality assurance anywhere. You can put all your documentation there. You can set up to configure the system based on your policies and procedures, and quality assurance anywhere behaves the way that you configure it. At the end of the day, that's a tool designed to help you comply with these quality and management standards. And our job is to make sure system works the way it is supposed to be working at your organization. So it's a great tool to basically comply with multiple quality management standards. So that's my answer basically. I think we can get one more question and then we can end our session because we are running out of time. So another question that I have is about energy management. So we are complying with ISO 50000. Can I manage quality assurance anywhere for this purpose? ISO 50000 is basically also the foundation is ISO 9001. So let me just say it first of all. And it's to manage the energy operations under these ISO requirements is possible also on quality assurance anywhere. So the good thing about quality assurance anywhere is it's very flexible. We didn't design it to run it only one standard or only one industry. It's very, very flexible, and that's the beauty about it. So having said that, ISO 50000 is okay for quality assurance to help you manage in digital environment. You can again policies, procedures as for energy consumption, energy management, and also what kind of corrective actions that you take to improve your energy management operations can be managed, can be performed, and also can be documented on quality assurance anywhere. So when the time comes for audit coming from ISO, you can actually present all your documentation, all your activities digitally. We also have ready-made reports for audits that you may have from ISO. So that's a perfect setup for companies like yourself. So energy management, which is one of our favorites, is to conserve energy, right? Is to use sustainable energy, alternative energy, ideally, is a great thing. We applaud that, and also with the quality assurance anywhere you can definitely comply in a digital environment. Okay, great. I think we addressed many of the questions. That is great, and that is there's a series of webinars that we put together, as I mentioned earlier. This is the part 1, and today we talk about how you can comply with quality management systems in a digital environment, and we focus on control document management as to demonstrate how you can actually manage documentation in a digital environment while you are compliant, while it's secure, and while it is actually also remotely accessible. So that was a great webinar. Thank you so much for your attendance, and thank you for the questions. And we are looking forward to seeing you in our coming webinars. My name is Kevin Devecioglu with Quality Assurance Anywhere, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in our coming webinars. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.